Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. Hope you're all having a great day. Today, we have racing in just the Xfinity Series as well as the Cup Series coming your way, where we go to Kansas in both races here. One of the few times where the schedule actually lines up with each other here with the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, but we're not wasting any time. Just 4 races remain in our NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode 3 after today, and we start things off here with Daniel Suarez behind the wheel of this number 77 Ford Mustang here for Going Racing, and he's obviously in a really good position in the playoff situation and has a chance to lock himself into the Final Four here today if he can pick up the victory. And he immediately got up to the front of the field, got up to second place, down the back straightaway, up the inside there of Sheldon Creed in that 9 car into turn 3. He would take the lead and not look back. Out of turn 4 on this final lap, Daniel Suarez comes through to win in Kansas and lock himself into the Final Four here for the Xfinity Series with a win in the Kansas Lottery 300 there, as Creed ends up second. Justin Allgaier, Natalie Decker, Kimi Räikkönen rounds out your top 5 there as you see the rest of the finishing results on your screen. So a great way to start off the episode, but will we finish it off with a good Cup Series finish? Now that's the real question here, as you would come through to start our qualifying lap here in the Cup Series at Kansas Speedway with a goal of a 31.192 second lap here, ripping the top line, as I'm always comfortable running the top here at Kansas. So that's all I did, just rip the top, and we come through to cross the line with a 30.749 and qualify, I think, a career best at Kansas. 5th place here for the Digital Ally 400. Looking very good to start this race here. Obviously, with the playoff situation, we come in below the cut line to make it into the Final Four. So we are in need of top 10 runs in every single stage here today here as we're getting ready to take the green flag. At the bottom of the grid, though, we are going to have Zane Smith.
Okay, we're -3 below the cut line, but we still need a really good day out of you.
10-4, we got good speed. Let's make it happen. There you hear myself as well as our crew chief of Lantion on the radio here as we are ready to go green for the Digital Ally 400. Forgot to have Microsoft Flight Simulator in this episode, but it will be back for the final 3 episodes. Don't you worry there with Mid-Ohio in the next one, as well as Iowa and Homestead, Miami. See the playoff grid, we are 3 points below the cut line coming into this race. So starting 5th place, I think there's a pretty good opportunity for us to get ourselves above the cut line here at the end of today's episode in Kansas, as long as we continue to be able to run in the top 5 now, as the first race of the round of 8 is going to get underway. Here's a green flag is out from Kansas Speedway. Just 3 races to decide who makes it into the final Final Four of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. It is kind of awkward having this going on at the same time as NASCAR 21 Ignition, but obviously nothing we can really do about that. And I can confirm my NASCAR 21 Ignition career mode is going to start a little bit earlier than I had originally planned. It'll probably start within a couple days or so, so stay tuned for that. I'm excited to start that one out. It's a very bare bones career mode, so there's not going to be a whole lot of depth into it, and unfortunately the Unreal Engine is nearly impossible to mod, so the odds of us getting mods on NASCAR 21 Ignition right now are unbelievably low. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll have to wait and see, and hopefully something will change. But I've got another series planned out that you guys might really enjoy that I will probably keep you guys updated on at some point here in the future. So stay tuned for that here now as we're focused back on this race. 3 wide in the middle with Kyle Larson and Derek Kraus. The top 5, all of us had driven away from 6th place on back, and I could see a trend here that all 5 of us had really good speed together, and then 6th place on back was just really lacking, and I felt like we're going to find ourselves potentially in this kind of fight all race long if we all continue to have the same amount of speed. We are in for one heck of a race here at this rate now, as you would be up the inside of that 84 Red Bull driver of Chris Buescher down into turn 1. Todd Gilliland, Kyle Larson up there in 2nd place. Kyle Larson has made it to the round of 8 on pure consistency. He picked up 2 wins earlier in the season, or 1 or 2 wins, and then has just been consistent. That's why he's here in the round of 8. He's definitely been the most consistent of the drivers so far, I think, in the playoffs, and that's why he's got a shot to make it into the Final Four this season. Now halfway through stage 1, he's leading the way over Derek Gross, and we were all very equal on speed. Everybody here in the top 5 is still driving away from 6th place, and we're all just kind of shuffling around, taking the lead, losing the lead. Someone else goes up there, leads a couple laps, and it changes again here. So it was just happening non-stop, and this was one of the best Kansas races I think we've ever had. Not only the best Kansas race, but I think maybe one of the best NASCAR Heat 5 career mode races I've ever had here now, as we were only 8 laps to go in stage 1, doing exactly exactly what we need to be doing. Now, unfortunately, we're running top 5, but there's still 3 playoff competitors of ours beating us here, so that's always frustrating when you're running really good, but you still have, just about half the playoff grid running in front of you here now as we go down into turn 3. Now, actually, we have a crash behind us there. The 60 of Tyler Reddick, our teammate, goes around. He gets slammed by the 25 of Ryan Blaney. The caution comes out for the first time here today, and everybody is going to come into the pit lane here for 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 fresh tires there. So we actually stay P4 there. As you see, Busher was able to get up to second. Kyle Larson drops down to P3. Here we are on that second row on the outside. I think we have a good chance here to do something good here in these final 4 laps of stage 1. Not a lot of time to make anything happen, and I think we're about to see if 6th place on back has speed this time around. Obviously, it's only 4 laps, so they should be able to stick with us pretty well here now as we give Chris Busher a push through the center of 1 and 2. Here comes Christian Eckes, the defending champion. Finally got his first win of the season recently in Darlington here now as he is in this round of 8 trying to make it into that final 4 as well. Now as we go down this back stretch into turn 3, up on this top lane, Kraus out in front, Larson up to second, Busher down to third, battling with Gilliland for that 3rd and 4th spot. That is now as I'm going to try and mix it up here with them. Couldn't quite get to the outside there, so actually give the push to the back of that 84 car here down the front stretch. Just 3 laps remain here in this first and opening stage now as I again jump up to the top where I'm most comfortable. Obviously we can try the bottom, but I just don't feel good down there, and I always feel like I'm losing ground here, so we only go to the bottom if we're pretty much forced to. Now as you can see what we can do on the outside, we clear the 84 of Chris Busher. We get to the back of Kyle Larson. Now as we came through at a turn 2 with 2 laps to go, I clipped the outside wall there, do a little bit of cosmetic damage to the right side of the car, but it wasn't too bad. We come through to start the final lap here of stage 1, and now we're still down in P5, but once again, you look behind us, we have all driven away from 6th place on back once again here. So this top 5 just unbelievably equal on speed now as Kraus leads the way down this backstretch into turn 3. Now as I'm going to be right on the back of that 5 of Kyle Larson. He kind of protects the top there. I'm going to try and jump even higher though than Kyle Larson can here as we exit turn 4. Now not very often you go higher up the track than Kyle Larson, but couldn't quite pull it off there. We settle for 5th place here in this first and opening stage. Now overall, the car was feeling tremendous, so I had no intentions of making any adjustments to it here. We were just going to bring it into the pit lane and do 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 fresh tires, and just no adjustments whatsoever here because, like I said, that car was feeling really, really good right now, and obviously this top 5 so equal on speed, better than anybody behind us here as Derek Kraus wins the first stage in Kansas. Derek Kraus looking strong here so far. 1 extra playoff point that's not even going to matter. But he does still get 10 stage points that do make a big difference here in his attempt to make the Final 4 for the first time in his Cup Series career. Stage 2 is underway in Kansas, and it is time for the first time in this round to get amped. And there you have the AMP segment up in 3rd place here at the end of the first couple of laps in this second stage now. And today it's a bit surprising to see who stepped up their game with myself, Chris Busher, Derek Kraus, Kyle Larson, the 2 drivers that have been dominant all season long. Chase Elliott, Lewis Hamilton, they were nowhere to be found up in this big mix, up in this battle right here in Kansas. So very surprising to see them 2 lacking so much here now as we were 3 wide now for second place now with Buescher as well as Kyle Larson right behind Derek Crouse. I wanted to get up here and lead because everybody in this top 5 has been shuffling around for the lead, but you know who hasn't led? It's been myself. I haven't led a single lap in this race, so I really wanted to try and get up into a spot where I could do that, but you can't do that when the caution's coming out here for the second time today in Kansas. Now, everybody is staying out this time because we can make it to the end of stage 2 here without having to make a pit stop. So we're going to be actually lining up in a good spot here on the inside of row number 2, which could open the door for us to maybe make a move up the inside of Derek Crouse going down into turn 1. Lewis Hamilton currently in 10th place, and Chase Elliott from McLaren not even in the top 10. A very surprising thing to see from those two drivers, and that just makes it easier for us because it gives them less of a comfort zone above that cut line now as we are back underway with 7 laps to go here in stage 2. And there you see that 45, not a great restart. I'm going to dive to the inside here. Carouse voluntarily seems to move over to the right hand side of the track, and we take full advantage here side by side for the lead as we come through out of turn 2. He leaves the door wide open. We have to take the opportunity, and we clear that 45 of Derek Crouse, and up into first place we go immediately. I jump up to the top. I know if I go down to the bottom, I'm just going to push up the track, and I'm not going to have enough speed here. So now we're about to see what we really got here in this number 6 going racing Ford Mustang here today. Now we lead the first lap finally for us here today, but now Chris Buescher putting up a lot of pressure here as we go down into turn 1 now. Gilliland, Crouse, myself, Buescher, Kyle Larson, the 5 fastest drivers all night long here so far in Kansas. Will that continue into stage 3? That's the big question now, as we're going to continue to fight with Chris Buescher. Now, I knew it was going to be tough to lead this race at this point here, but now on the end of lap 13, we're actually going to go 3 wide for the lead with Buescher as well as Crouse, who has a lot of speed in that 45 car. The top 5 might be really equal, but that 45 still seems to have just enough more than the other 4 of us here to keep himself out in front for the majority of this race so far now, as we have that second place hopefully locked up here in stage 2. If we can't win the stage, second place still is tremendous for us. Now 3 laps to go here in stage 2. At this point, we're continuing to hold on to that second position, but I have a huge moment right there as I lose the car in turn 1, overcorrect. We slam the wall, the caution comes out, and we get credited still with P3, and we just got a huge gift with that happening there. As if it stayed green, we were probably going to fall outside of the top 10, as we of course have to come in immediately to repair the car. Big mistake from myself right there, but we really don't face any repercussions for it other than the fact that we have to repair the car now, as Derek Crouse wins stage 2 once again in Kansas. A little bit of drama there to end stage 2 as we are ready to go green for the start of the third and final stage, now down into the 7th position, the worst spot we've been all day. And then on the restart, Eric Jones does not take off, and then next thing you know, I'm way off the pace as well. And now here comes the 9 of Chase Elliott overtaking us. Here comes our teammate of Bell and Reddick, Kyle Busch to my outside, Joey Logano, our rival, to our inside. Here comes Ryan Blaney as well, and now we are outside of the top 10 for the first time here today, and we have work to do, but we know we have speed in this car. I wasn't really panicking yet. I know we got speed that's capable of running top 5, and I said we're just going to march our way back up into that top 5, no problem whatsoever here. And already up into the top 10, 3 wide around Logano and Reddick, and we're going to blow the doors off of the 9 of Chase Elliott for I think maybe the first time all season long that we've just been lights out faster than Chase Elliott and Lewis Hamilton, who's nowhere to be found inside the top 10 either right now, which is just mind-boggling to see now, considering how strong they have been all season long, all playoff long now, as we're right to the back of Sam Mayer there, picked up his first career win a few episodes ago now, as he's going to, take the top line, but I'm going to go once again even higher than he does here and get up into that space that I want here, and I'm just trying to control this race. I said this is my race right here. We're going to go up here and try to win for the first time ever in Kansas in our last Kansas race. Probably my favorite mile-and-a-half track to drive in NASCAR Heat 5 is Kansas, just because you can actually ride the top here and make it work now, as we're going to look to the outside of that 17 of Christopher Bell here down this backstretch. Up into 7th place we go, and then we're going to try and make that leap to the outside of Eric Jones. Jones having a very quiet but good run here today in Kansas now, as we have gotten up into 6th place. To see Christian Eckes up here in the mix, but the top 5 isn't quite driving away at the start here of stage 3, but we finally would get clear into turns 3 and 4, and we would pass both Eckes and Bell up into 5th place we go. Now, is this the opportunity for us to drive away now? Is that going to be the potential? Now we go up the inside of the 84 of Chris Buescher. So up into 4th place, and we clear him no problem whatsoever on the inside. That's what was surprising to me. I did that on the inside line now, which we've never been able to do now as we come through now to lap 45 behind us. Our teammate of Christopher Bell goes crashing into the outside wall. There's a caution comes out. Both of our teammates tonight, Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick, earlier in this race have blown tires and crashed, and now I'm like, oh god, when's mine coming at this point now, as nobody is going to be coming into the pit lane. Obviously, actually, all 3 Roush LeBron racing cars have brought out a caution tonight. Obviously, we brought out the caution to end stage 2, but now here we are back in the mix for the restart on row number 2 on the outside as a green flag is back out. 20 laps remain here in Kansas. Derek Kraus dominant here so far here tonight. Kyle Larson very, very strong. Chris Buescher strong. Myself strong. Eric Jones right here in the top 10. Chase Elliott has been slowly moving forward, and same for that 83 of Eckes now as we come through turns 1 as well as 2 on the exit of the corner. We unfortunately get cleared by that 84 of Chris Buescher, but we've already proven we got speed to just drive right on by him, so I wasn't too concerned with him now as we come through the center of 3 and 4 now. As you got Eckes on the inside, I said, you know what, we got to get on a move here now as I get right into the back of that 84 of Buescher. That completely destroyed the plan, as I was actually hoping to jump to the outside of him here, but we got stuck there for a moment in 5th place, but we would get to the outside of that 84 car on the back straightaway here of lap 51 down into turn 3. Kraus still out in front, holding a comfortable lead there over that 5 of Kyle Larson, who just doesn't seem to quite have enough speed to be able to attack that number 45 car. But then I put the attack to the number 38 of Todd Gilliland. Chris Buescher starting to fade a little bit. That's the furthest we've seen him fade backwards now. So now it's kind of the big 4 in this race. We finally get clear of Gilliland. Now lap 55. My tire icon has come on, so we're getting ready to make a potential green flag pit stop. Now it will be coming a little bit earlier than I was hoping it would, because we still have 5 laps of field, but now on lap 56 going down into turn 3, I knew I had to come into the pit lane right here because my right front and right rear was really destroyed at this point, and I can't really risk going another lap or so. So I come into the pit lane playing it very cautious, knowing what's on the line with the playoffs. We cannot afford a speeding penalty, so it was an easy call. 2 right side tires and 1 can of fuel, and we're going to come out of the pit lane and hope for the best. First of all, it needs to stay green, and second of all, we need to hope that the AI took 2 tires as well. Now on lap 58, things were starting to cycle out. Everybody was coming into the pit lane. I am just engulfed in traffic, unfortunately. So that was unfortunate here, making it a little bit tougher for me to make the most out of these fresh right side tires. But we slowly are surely moving our way through the field aggressive here. 3 wide in the middle with Bowman, as well as Bubba Wallace, who got eliminated from the playoffs at Talladega Superspeedway there. As we're also going to get in front of that 98 of Josh Berry now as the leader of Kraus Pitts. The 84 of Buescher remains on the racetrack here now as we come through to lap 59. Now Buescher coming into the pit lane. We're only in P31. Kyle Larson had pitted, and you can see the gap. He actually gains time due to me being stuck in traffic. The caution comes out with 8 laps to go as we're down in 31st place. The last car on the lead lap. We get a break there, but now we're going to be at the back of the field because everybody was already on the pit lane, so they do not have to make a pit stop here. Our whole race just got thrown in the garbage, and maybe our chance at a final 4. I decided the only option is throw 4 tires on the car and just go as hard as we can here for the finish of this race, and we're only going to have 4 laps to do so. Now that's obviously a lot better than giving us 2 laps to do so. Now Eric Jones as well kind of got messed over there by that caution. You can see he's right behind me. So we're not the only playoff driver that got completely messed over. You can see Kyle Larson is only 3 rows in front of us here now, but we still need to get on a move here because Chase Elliott, Lewis Hamilton, they're actually benefiting a little bit here from this now as we go down this backstretch. It's going to be 3 laps at the line here now. We really got to make the most of it, and I'm looking for the opportunity to get up to the top because you can see on the inside we are getting held up so much. Urgency picking up big time. I finally get to the outside though as we were coming to just 2 laps to go, and we are closing in quickly on the top 20. We need at least a top 10 out of this in my opinion now as we were approaching the final lap. Kraus still found a way to get out in front here now as we exit turn 4 to the outside of Sam Mayer. Matt DiBenedetto 3 wide coming to the line, 14th place at the line here. 1 lap to go. Now we're still not going to get the finish that we were deserving of, where we've run all night long, which is extremely frustrating. And now Chris Buescher actually goes to the lead on the exit of turn 2. He has passed Derek Kraus as we go down this back straightaway for the final time, right to the back of our rival of Joey Logano. Kraus to the inside of Buescher through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and Kraus is actually going to clear the 84 of Buescher. They're side by side actually coming to the line. I don't even know who's won at this point now as we come through down the front straightaway. It's going to be an 11th place finish here in the Digital Ally 400 now. A disappointing finish, as it would be Derek Kraus winning over Chris Buescher, and that puts Kraus in the final 4. They were both battling for that win to get into the final 4, but it's Derek Kraus who comes out on top now, as that photo finish could be the decider if Chris Buescher advances into the final 4 or not. But we came into this race 3 points below the cut line. We're about to see how much we've either gained or lost there. You see the other series playoff grids as well. Overall, just frustrating that we put ourselves in that position to get, a not even top 10 finish after we ran top 10 all race along there. Now, Suarez, you see he's locked in to the final 4, so nothing to worry about in Xfinity. But the Cup Series playoff grid, of course, is what we want to know. What's the situation? Well, we ended up losing 7 points somehow, and are 10 points below the cut line going into Mid-Ohio, where we won last season, moving Lewis Hamilton, who's now the last driver in, only 10 points above the cut line now. So it's going to get close. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching, and as well as the members of MJ, Joseph 9001, Timothy Arline, Hayes Gaming, Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, AJ Vasur, Russell Dixon, Kenneth Barnett, Dana9302, Speed Demon 341, as well as Ellis Emery. I appreciate you guys' support so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.